G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. I can actually feel the fall hitting now. So still getting a good chili crop. Here goes Bob and Benny just checking it out. Oh, that trunk on the ground over there, that's the pawpaw that was in the corner that died. So I pulled that trunk out, and you can see, in fact, I'm using it for mulch. The current haul of chilies that I brought inside. We also have a look across the bed. I tried not to swing you too quick. The kangkong on the other end here, which although there's still a fair bit of it, it's looking pretty straggly as well. And the same is true of the Egyptian spinach. So that's almost as tall as me, that Egyptian spinach. It's got seed pods, so I'm going to take some of the seed pods off it, mostly harvest it, and we'll replace that with a winter crop now that it's getting a little bit cooler. So that's what's come out when I harvested the first lot. Now I know when to stop harvesting by a highly technical method, which is if it fits, it looks like it's going to fit in the dehydrator, that's great. When it looks like it's getting a bit much, then stop. Not bad, eh? I'll give you a look at the bed as well. So you can see what I've done is taken the plants out the front. That little green thing that's in the front is a pawpaw sapling that I found. I just broke him up and threw him back in as mulch. I'll probably top that bed up with some compost out the compost bin. And I'll do the rest of the Egyptian spinach when I get a chance. That's the dehydrator. You can see it comes as I think about 6 separate stackable little shelves. And that's the top where you turn her on. It's 3-speed, nothing complicated. I don't think you need an expensive dehydrator. So we ended up with a reasonable bag of seed, 3 layers of leaf material. The white stuff you can see are the seeds from the chilies, which is the layer above. I do that on purpose because it adds a bit of life to the dehydrated greens mix. So I've worked out I lied to you folks. I've got a 5-layer dehydrator, not a 6-layer dehydrator. But we're about to turn him up to full speed. Now I'm not going to bore you showing you any of that. It's a couple of hours later, probably 3, maybe 2. Those leaves are all well and truly dried out. I've checked the whole lot. But you can see the chilies have barely even begun to be touched. They're obviously a lot thicker and hold a lot more moisture than the little thin leaves. So what we'll do is we'll deal with our leaves and then we'll leave the dehydrator on with the chilies in it. So that's actually a whole row from the dehydrator, and you can see what I do is I just put it in and scrunch it down. And then we'll give it a quick grind. So I don't do it really any finer than that. In my view, you still want a little bit of texture in it. There we have it, a bag of pretty much dried spinach. You might be thinking now, Andy, come on buddy, why on earth would anybody bother mucking around with that? Well, let me show you why. I can't pronounce this very well, but it's Ghormeh Sabzi, dehydrated herbs. Which made me realise that in fact I like the flavour of the spinach dehydrated. But if you wanted to, you could add basil. Like I say, I don't care if the odd chilli seed falls into mine, adds a bit of zing. You could flavour this stuff however you want. It's going to give you a ton of taste, and a bloody nice taste, let me say. And it also adds a ton of nutrients and goodliness for you. And let's face it, I had to take those plants out. It was either use the leaves for something great or throw them in the bin. So there's our chilies. We're going to do the same with them. We'll grind them up in the little spice grinder and we'll add them to the chili powder that we've already got, which has proven a pretty damn good way of actually storing a lot of these chilies, folks. I'm not going to bore you with any more of this because it's the same as the green stuff.